Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm here with the lovely Canna from Sugar Mama TV, and do you want to explain a little bit about yourself and your channel?
Yep, sure. So my channel is about financial empowerment for the everyday person. I share really practical steps easy to follow steps to help improve your relationship with money so that you get out of debt, you build savings, you achieve like dreams and goals like buying your first home or building an investment portfolio. And I make it kind of really like empowering and motivating and hopefully inspiring so that you actually apply what I'm talking about in your life. And I wrote a book called The $1,000 Project, where I took one really big goal and broke it down into mini goals. And
that everyone can follow so easily.
Exactly, and it's all about, the book's all about the story behind it and how you can do your own $1,000 project.
Yeah.
And my background is I'm actually a licensed financial planner, and I have been for 17 years or something.
That's crazy. And then you've been on YouTube for like 4 years, you said?
Yes, almost 4 years.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of fun, but it's busy.
Yeah, and so like we just made a video on your channel, which I'll also leave a link to below. But
very cool one.
Yeah, so like you helped me out so much, like mentally and like especially around like, a good healthy money mindset and how to save money in your 20s. So I thought today we could just talk about a few tips you might have for people in your 20s, because I think a lot of the people watching my videos are like around my age. So and you have some great advice. So
okay, all right. So I'm going to share with you guys 5 tips to follow. They're really easy, and you can, doesn't matter whether you are drowning in debt or swimming in savings, you can apply each of these straight away. Good. You'll quickly see the shift, the change, both in your attitude but also in your bank account. So first of all, money mindset. Think about what you are telling yourself about money.
Yeah, that's so important.
So important, and Sofia's story is a testament to that. But what you appreciate. So taking accountability for your financial situation, not burying your head in the sand, but being honest and saying, yes, I am in credit card debt, but I'm doing something about it. Understand that being financially independent is a healthy thing. Just like it is important to eat the right foods and get the right nutrients and minerals for optimal energy, being responsible with money is also the same thing. So having a healthy attitude where you respect money, you understand how hard it is to work for $1, and you see financial independence and freedom as a form of financial health and wellness. So having a great money mindset. The next thing is debt. Touchy subject. Get at toxic debt is debt like car loans, personal loans, credit cards. You need to eliminate all that type of debt in your life. It's incredibly toxic, not just financially but energetically as well, because often those types of purchases are for things that have depreciated in value, like clothes and cars and handbags. And not that I love all those things and I buy those things, but I buy them with balance. And the thing with this is you can really, like when you honor the things, you can when you honor your financial goals and your game plan, you can buy those things guilt-free. But when you've overindulged, the emotions of shame, remorse, guilt, embarrassment really aren't good for your emotional well-being. So you need to draw a line in the sand and get out of that debt as quickly as possible. And I have made plenty of videos on how to get out of credit card debt fast and other types of debt fast. So maybe we could link them in the video description as well, so everyone can watch that.
Would you recommend paying off like your smaller loans, you said, right? Before like the bigger ones? So I have
a very different approach when it comes to getting out of debt, and I have coached thousands of people out of debt. I'm talking like $80,000-$90,000 worth of credit card debt. Like, that's incredible. Insane, the max I ever came across was $360,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah, insane.
Oh gosh.
But it's what I actually recommend. If you Google how to get out of credit card debt fast, they will tell you pay off the one with the largest amount.
That doesn't make logical sense.
Sorry, the largest interest.
Oh, right.
That's what I told you. Sorry, I got myself confused there for a second. So the highest interest first. However, I take a different approach, and whilst it's not financially and mathematically the savviest thing to do, works very efficiently.
Eliminating so you don't have as many debts.
So what I actually recommend is you work on the smallest debt first, because when you're in multiple types of debt, it's like juggling balls. And if you're juggling 7 balls and I go, hang on, let me take one quickly out of the air for you, juggling the remaining six balls is that a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And if I grab another one, it only gets easier and easier, and you get faster and faster, and you get
That's
better.
a good way to look at it.
And it starts to feel like you're making progress. So you feel good, so you continue to be committed and dedicated to the debt reduction plan.
Whereas if you're doing like the biggest debt first, you'll feel like it's never ending and you're not actually getting anywhere.
Exactly. You feel
Small goals,
disheartened, you lose momentum, you potentially give up, and that's not what we want you to do. So if, for example, you have, say 4 credit cards. One is $1,000, another one is $2,000, another is say $5,000, another one is $7,000. My advice is to focus on the smallest one first. So set minimum payments for those other ones, but tackle the smallest one first, because you can quickly and easily cross it off your list, and everything that you were doing to pay off that one goes towards the next. The next.
Put more energy into that one.
Exactly, and you start to build really healthy habits, so that by the time that debt's paid off, you can start building savings. Which brings me to step number 3. And that is savings. Everyone should have just normal savings, but also emergency life savings. So
that is like one huge tip actually that I forgot to say earlier that you really helped me with, because I got into a situation where like I was in a car accident, and that sucked, like not having that emergency savings. So the first thing I did after that was like build up that emergency savings, so if it was to happen again or something similar, like I have that there.
And it gives you so much peace of mind, and it means that when you have emergency money, it doesn't destroy or destruct your goals and your dreams. So if I have emergency savings of say $5,000, and my goal, I'm saving separately to buy my first home, if an emergency happens and it comes to say $3,000, I don't need to take it out of my home saving money. I take it out of my emergency money. I can still get back on track. And it's not as emotionally crippling as well when these things happen. You can focus on the problem you can focus on the solution rather than the problem. So that is incredibly important. Step or tip number 4 is your superannuation. Make sure all your super is all in one account. Make sure that it's invested not in the default fund that your superannuation provider just throws you in. Make sure it's invested according to your risk profile. That's true. Now that means, generally speaking, the younger you are, the more time you've got before you access your superannuation money, which is your retirement money. So the general words of wisdom is invest in a more aggressive manner, because you've got the benefit of time to sit through all the peaks and troughs of the market and the volatility. Now, it is important that you're an educated investor and you're an informed investor. So work out what your risk profile is and make sure you've invested according to it. But as I said, the general word of wisdom is if you're young and you've got 20, 30, 40 years worth of work ahead of you, the general consensus is you should be investing in a growth or a high growth fund for your superannuation money. But again, always check your risk profile and don't do anything you don't feel comfortable with or don't understand. And then the 5th bit of advice is to start investing. People think that only rich people need to invest or old people need to invest. That is crazy. My 5-year-old son even has shares.
That's so cool.
It's everyone needs to understand they are only responsible for themselves. You need to build your own sense of financial independence and responsibility. And by having an investment portfolio, whether it be an investment portfolio of residential properties or a share portfolio like I show you how to do in the $1,000 project, this is an investment portfolio that provides a passive income that over time, by reinvesting and constantly adding to it, will more than cover my living expenses. So that means I don't necessarily have to go to work if I don't want to. It means I've got enough money coming in. I'm never relying on a partner or a family member to support me financially. I can stand on my own 2 feet, and I choose to go to work because I love what I do, not because I have to.
That's so cool.
And building an investment portfolio, particularly a share portfolio, is really easy. It takes literally minutes. I'm talking less than 1 minute to buy shares. And you don't have to be an analyst, reading all the newspapers and looking up profit and loss and balance sheets and analyzing companies. You can very easily do this through things like ETFs or investing in listed investment companies. And I explain all this on my channel, but start learning about investing. The moment you got out of debt, the moment you've built up your emergency savings and you've fixed your super, move on to investing. I promise you, you will never regret it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those tips. I think that's really helpful, like for me, but also for so many others. But you have like so much good content. So like, yeah, everyone needs to go on your channel and just like click on the videos that like suit them, because you just have like so many different areas you cover.
Thank you. And like you, I'm really passionate about minimalism as
well.
Yeah,
minimalism, and
I struggle to say minimalism as well.
And like you're also really into like manifestation as well.
I talk a lot about like mental attitude and
so important.
Yeah, and talking about like visualizing, seeing yourself doing things, succeeding, cultivating the feeling within your heart as to, you know, what it feels like in achieving and getting through tough times, and being open to the flow of money as well is really important.
Oh, that's so cool. Alrighty. Well, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel and like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Canna. And other than that, I'll see you in my next video.
Alright, thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye.